going through my childhood.
Yeah. What was that?
I'm just like looking at like old like 90s PBS shows.
Oh, okay.
Like Google. So like whenever you're ready.
Oh, well. I was just waiting for you to finish saying that so I could say, hey everybody, welcome to the Animation Revaluation Podcast. I am your host Lizer, and with me as always is Jay and James. We were just talking about some old PBS shows. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hi, you guys. It's me.
Hey, you guys.
The electric company.
I thought he was done talking, so I like started the stream up, and he was like, "Yeah, so I'm just talking about like my old childhood shows," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like we're still going, huh? Hey, Jess. Oh man, how have you guys been this week?
Busy.
Busy?
I'm tired.
I feel that. I feel that in my soul.
Religious level.
For me, it's been good. It's been good. Can't complain, but it's good.
I mean, you can complain. It's just not gonna do anything.
Yeah, that's why I don't complain.
Yeah, understandable. But this is our big, huge 50th episode where we have so much planned. Oh man, James, you were responsible for this. What do you have planned for us, buddy?
I mean, I did have something sort of planned. I mean, it's
Don't
not
lie.
really I'm not planned.
Don't lie.
I did think of it. I don't know if you guys were down. I briefly mentioned it.
Don't lie. Don't lie to the audience, please. Have some dignity.
No. Let's just save it for the next time. We'll save it for next time. But this episode will be a treat, though.
I mean, if you say so.
I think so.
All right.
I'd like to say so.
All right. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay.
Cool.
If I don't like it, you're kicked.
Okay.
Again. Okay. Just like every episode.
Every episode.
But yeah, we watched a little something this week, so how about you tell us about it?
Okie dokie. Give me a second. Well, actually, before I get started on this, you know how it's, since it's about ranking of kings and everything, what do you guys think are qualities that make for a great king?
Huge penis.
Understandable.
Massive.
Absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
The matching balls to go with it.
Okay.
Just like heavy, deep voice,
Okay.
Stop.
Shaved? Hairy?
Probably hairy just to like assert dominance.
Okay.
And it like captures the musk.
Ooh, yeah. Some musk, okay. Okay, I'll remember that. Well, okay, on that note, this story starts off with a prince named Boji and this like shadow-ash creatures. You find out his name is Kage. And let me pull up a picture right here. Right here, there you go. And it pretty much starts off with Kage just being like a straight up gangster and just always just like robbing Boji's clothes every day. And then like Boji like coming up every day looking like the kid from like Christmas Carol, all stacked up with clothes and everything, and he just like gives it to like Kage just because I don't even know why, to be honest. And then you realize that Prince Boji actually is what would you guys say? Is he a mute and he's deaf? Or is
I don't even know. I wouldn't even know how to describe that, but both of those terms are definitely used to describe him.
yes.
Yeah, he's mute and deaf.
Yeah. So like he was born that way. And like to him it's all he's ever known. And he still goes on. He just acts like your regular day old kid,
I forgot I was supposed to be playing pictures.
Yeah, that's what I was like. And I'm sorry, I don't think I put in a picture of Boji as well.
There you go. There's Boji. There's our frog boy.
Here's one picture. This is when he's all small. When he was born, he's like really small. And here's another picture of 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 him meeting with Kage, and he has like a bunch of clothes on.
Are you putting them in general again?
Oh my god! I'm putting it in general again. Oh my god! It's like I don't even know what pictures I put up. I'm just gonna put this picture of Kage holding his little toy. Okay.
And I'll put up a normal picture of Kage as well to accompany it. Shadow creature boy.
He looks like more of a shadow creature in your picture.
Yeah.
And then even when Kage's like getting his clothes from it's not his clothes, it's Boji's clothes. I'm sorry. Boji's always like after Boji gives Kage his clothes, he has to like pretty much like I think he's just in his underwear, and he pretty much like has to walk through town all the way to his home, and everybody's like snickering and laughing at him and like pitying him because like not only is he like disabled and all, he's still like I don't know, I guess gullible or whatever it is. They're just kind of like looking at him in pity because he's just like he's supposed to be like some kind of prince, but he's like always just like acting, I don't know, like aloof, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's confronted by the queen, Queen Hilling.
Not his mom.
You find out Queen Hilling is not his mom, but I will get more to that in a second.
Your nose scares me. It's a weapon.
It's got that.
It's the most dangerous spear in the world.
Exactly. And then Queen Killing is it's always just like scolding at him, especially like all the times that he's like going up like each time he goes to Kage, he has to go through town, and then obviously like since he goes through that, like it goes over to like to the kingdom where like the castle where he lives, and so like he gets scolded by his stepmom, and I was like, well, like why are you doing that? And then he's just like, oh, I'm just playing around, you know. But he doesn't actually say that, but you know,
because he can't say anything.
Yeah. The only way people kind of understand him, it's because a lot of his what would you call them, his subjects, like they actually like learn sign language so that they're able to kind of like communicate and understand him a bit.
Was it the subjects or was it a few like
it's like his retainer?
Yeah, his retainer would translate for him.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know the word what to call them because I know individually like they're all kind of like
the subjects would be like the people in the kingdom.
Okay, I see. Okay.
God, do you not know your king lore? Jeez.
I don't. I was like, you got a king, you got a queen, you got a prince, and I'm like, well, I think just everything under king and queen. It's like, okay, well, they're just like all your subjects because it's royalty and then everybody else. But the whole time you think he's just like a kid without a care in the world. But one day after, like Kage, after taking his clothes like every day, he follows him one day and he gets to see that, well, he actually isn't like an aloof kid or anything. You see him like crying and he's just frustrated about the whole thing. From all the times that the villagers laughed at him, or whenever the queen scolds him, but he just doesn't really show it, unless he's like by himself.
1 second. Hi to everyone in chat. Kim Kim Stoppable. What is this? This is a weekly podcast we do where we talk about mostly anime, but anything animation related. We do it every week. So enjoy. Go on.
Okay, sorry. My cat is in front of my monitor. Blocking everything. Oh my god. I'm so sorry.
He can smell me.
Can you get on? Please. Okay. Alright. Where was I? Alright. Oh, like as I was saying, so he's always crying, I guess, like whenever he's like by himself, because I mean, he at the end of the day, he's just like a little kid, and even though he's like deaf and he can't talk, he still gets frustrated about that kind of thing. And Kage starts, you know, he at first he was always like, oh man, I can just use this guy to kind of get free shit, but after seeing him like that, he's like, well, he's actually not like he's kind. He too starts kind of pitting him, I guess. And then that same day, you get to see King Boss, which is his dad.
Is Faja?
Is Faja. I think I have a picture right here. I don't know if you guys have. Oh my god, Captain America. That's
It's close enough.
I mean, if he was like the size of a skyscraper, like giant size, then maybe, because that's how big King Boss is. He's like a giant size. The guy's like freaking huge, like your typical looking giant, but like hairy, big beard, all that shit.
Is that not what your typical giant looks like?
You know, giants can look to like however you want it to look. To be honest, like I think everybody's giant looks a little different, but I mean they're all big.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying what a giant should look like. I mean, I'm sure my giant is like different from your giant.
I'm not saying I'm a giant expert here, guys.
Okay, you're making it seem that it is. Okay, and you get to see how strong and fierce he is, because you get to see like a little flashback because he takes on this like big, massive herd of a goblin, ogre-looking kind of creatures, and he like single-handedly kills them all with like his big axe.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. And then like it pretty much like cuts back to like Boji, and like they showed him earlier when the mom was scolding him. I guess like one of the translators, which ends up being the sword master. I believe his name was Dom. I apologize for the how to announce it. Is it Domus? Domas?
I would say Domus.
Domus? Okay, Domus. And you've I forgot what I was going with that, but
So he like translated for him.
yes. So he learned to translate for King not King Boji, Prince Boji, so that he's able to help him out. And then you find out that during that interaction when you get to see the king, that the king's actually sick, and that Boji is the firstborn of the late king, and that Queen Hilling is actually the second queen. And then you find out that they have another, like, Boji has a little brother, because Queen Hilling had a child with the king, and that kid is named Dida, that you see fighting Domus in the picture. And yeah, I at least from watching him when I first met him, I kind of don't really like him because he's always like kind of mean. And and like somehow like just because like he's taller, but he's actually younger than his like older brother. But the older brother looks like as if he was like a toddler and like younger, but he's actually like the older.
Yeah.
And then you get to see that the king boss actually like really like loves Boji. In fact, even though like he's weak and weak looking. And then he gets to have I think the king boss assigns the sword master Damas to make sure he gets like better and stronger with like his sword. And then one day while training with his brother, Daida comes with the. I guess he's watching like Boji and Damas like spar. I guess a little bit, kind of like showing him like do the ropes, and then he ends up like wanting to fight Boji, but like Damas is like no, like he's not kind of ready. So like he ends up fighting Damas and like actually puts up a good fight. Even like Damas is a little impressed, but like you know he's a kid and all, he like fucking wrecks him.
Hey, drinks.
Like, and then he finds Boji just like he's like, you know what, I'm a fight him.
Yeah,
And,
Boji was like ready to square up in that situation, like 100%.
Which I found that crazy. Like even though he can't like do much.
He was already so disheartened from like everything happening, like you're not fit to be king and blah blah blah, like all that stuff he was hearing, and he knew that like the one thing Daida had like over him was the like battle experience, the swordsmanship.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, the way he carries himself in battle is you know fit for a king. So I guess his thought pattern was, if I can best him in battle, that'll prove to them. But like they have this battle and all he does is activate Ultra Instinct and dodge every strike and like just frustrates his brother, and all anyone says is just like, you know, that's unfit. It's like he's running away from the battle. Can't stay, but wanted to pop in and say hi. How long you gonna be live for? Well, this is our podcast, so we just it could we're no shit, Sherlock. She's saying how long. It's usually ranged from like 30 minutes to like upwards of an hour, just until we're done talking about the show. But I'll probably stream later.
Yeah, so he ducking and weaving and fighting, but like you were saying, like they think it's kind of like cowardly that he's always just like dodging, even though like it looks sick that he's like dodging like every single move that he's.
Dude, it was actually Ultra Instinct, like.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
Are you serious? You don't know what Ultra Instinct is?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, for shame.
Okay.
For shame, James.
Anyways, since he's all like acting all cowardly and everything, the sword master tells him that like that's not like what a king, like a proper king, should do and everything. So like they pretty much make sure that he isn't dodging. Like they just tell him just to take it, and he ends up like losing.
Yeah.
To Daida, and it gets like really beat up.
Oh yeah, badly.
And then at this, I guess around like when he loses at the same time, you get to find a little bit of backstory about Kage, that he's actually part of like a shadow clan.
Yeah.
That
like
is,
a clan of assassins.
And pretty much like you find out that he too kind of like had a difficult childhood, and what was it? Him and the mom, I guess you find out that even like Kage, he looks so like you can't really tell like how old he is, but he's actually still like pretty relatively young, maybe like around the same age as Boji, maybe. They never really say like how old he is. Actually, do they even say how old Boji is?
No.
Yeah, so like I want to say they're all like still like relatively young.
Yeah, we're reviewing Ranking of Kings. Yes, Sri Lanki.
And like when they're showing like his like flashback, is just pretty much his mom and him are like being hunted by like I guess like some like other kingdom, and then the mom ends up like sacrificing herself.
It was like apparently they had a plot to kill the king, but like they're the Shadow Clan, and the Light Clan was the one that ratted on them. But it seems to be, like from what I saw, that the Light Clan lied and just wanted to get rid of them, like the leader of the Light Clan, and it was just a plan to like kill them all.
Yeah.
Because they say that they're like loyal to a fault to their king, so why would they try to kill him?
Yeah. Because I think the mom goes to explain that like even though they're like a clan of assassins, like they're just good at what they do, but they don't like really like that doesn't make them like bad or anything.
Mm.
It's just more like if like we just have the I guess like that Taken kind of like thing. where-
Taken.
like he just has they just have a certain set of skills and they just use it that way. It's like well like when you're good at something, well you just do it.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
That's pretty much what they did, but I mean ends up not doing so well, and mom dies, they escape, and I think Kage gets like saved by like some random people like in the way. I don't know, like they don't really talk about him later. It was like this little girl and this whatever like somebody protected her of
Mm.
him. But I feel like they'll be important later.
Maybe it kind of like focused on them a lot, so it feels like they would be important later on.
Yeah. And
But
then, like, the
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, they save him, and he's like, you see the spider doll she's holding, it's like ripped open. He was in there, but like the people who are hunting them down, the Light Clan, come by on like their horses and everything, and he sees his mother's, like, I guess you call it a corpse. I don't know what the hell they're made out of, like they're shadow people, but just like hanging from his spear, and he starts crying. So the little girl starts crying to like cover his screams to try to save him. But they're just like parading around the dead bodies of the Shadow Clan as like flags.
Yeah. I find that pretty crazy. It's like, damn, I was like just like almost like a situation where it says like, yeah, I'm just gonna like have their head like right there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh god. But I was really surprised that like she even like tried crying to kind of cover it up. I thought that was like really like they never even found him scary or anything. Like I don't know, for me, like if I found like a random like shadow creature just like running towards me, I wouldn't know how to react.
Just stomp on it. It's a rat.
But then I think because he was carrying a little I think he got like a gift from his mom. Like
Yeah, the little like horse toy thing.
yeah. So like if he was carrying something like that, maybe I would be more protective of it, maybe. But and then the sad part, like once he like is saved and then escapes, like he's pretty much like struggling on his own just to like to survive and just like find a place like to stay. And he even tried. I think he sells his toy horse for like some like scrap food.
He tries
like,
to.
Yeah. And he barely gets anything from it or anything.
Yeah, like they don't want it. So then he just puts it on the table and grabs like a tomato or something and tries to run, and they beat the shit out of him and leave him like in an alley.
Yeah. And then he gets like found by. I was able to find, even though I never found out his name. I was able to find the guy that takes him in as just like some random guy that ends up, I guess, taking advantage of him.
Mhm.
Because since he's part of the Shadow Clan, he has a set of skills, and he uses them kind of like to kind of steal and like kind of like, I guess, make his life a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, like he can crawl underneath like the cracks and doors between the door and the floor. He can fit through that space to like unlock doors and steal gold and all that. So the guy just like uses him to make money.
In exchange for like someplace to stay, and then gives them like, I think it was
It's
like
like fish scraps.
Yeah. And then like even then, so like even after like having this kind of like, I would say this toxic relationship, he's like Kage still like gets attached to him because he's like out of everybody, like this is the only one that's actually like kind of like being nice to him.
Yeah.
And even then, so like this guy like betrays him and rats him out for some like bounty reward. And even then, Kage's still loyal to him and like following him around. And then like follows him around until like one like random encounter, like at a bar brawl, I guess. And then like that guy ends up dying.
Yeah, he got into like a bar fight and the dude stabbed him in the heart.
Yeah. And he's just like holding him, just like he ended up crying like before he died. So like I don't really know what his like thoughts and process was.
I feel like it was supposed to be like he regretted it because he flashed back to like Kage always like holding his hand when he slept and stuff like that.
I thought that was so adorable, but I thought it was so sad too. And then like at this point you're kind of like seeing that like you know how Boji's having like how he had his like how he has like his kind of rough childhood. Kage also has like a little rough upbringing as well.
Yeah.
So like you get to see that they kind of have like a lot in common. So like Kage like really starts getting closer to Boji because like even like I guess maybe like he's kind of sees himself in Boji. I would say at least like that's what I would describe as how at least how he became a little bit closer to Boji because he didn't seem to really get attached to anybody else. And you get to see that Boji like he actually like wants to get stronger and better, but like for some reason like he can't. Like no matter like how hard he tries, or like even when he like gets beat up by Daida, like he still like tries like I think he needs to pick up a sword, but like he can't because he's just like for some reason he just can't.
He has like 2 broken arms and he's completely covered in bandages. He has like 1 eye and he tries to pick up the biggest sword in existence.
I mean, to his existence.
Yeah. It was like 3 times the size of his body. He tried to lift it.
Yeah.
It's like not only is this kid mute and deaf, he's also stupid.
That's straight up savage. Like stupid little shit.
Should know better. Know your place, trash.
Oh my god. And then Kage is pretty much like at this point he kind of ends up being kind of like his like personal cheerleader, or like whatever like a coach is to like a boxer kind of thing. He's just kind of like giving him kind of like when he's feeling down, just makes him feel better.
Yeah.
Then a little time goes by and the king ends up dying. and then he names Prince Boji as his successor. But at the same time, for what like I guess like the second, I don't know about the second to be honest, but like when he dies, out of his mouth like some big scary demon comes out and like out of his mouth and just starts like laughing and then points at like Boji and laughs some more and then just disappears. And then like they don't really give any context. I would say throughout the series, like there's a lot of stuff. They make it seem like it's like a big world and like a lot is like going on, but they don't really explain what's going on or what anything is. They kind of just focus on like the character, like getting to know the characters, and then like it's with knowing each character, you get to find out a little bit more of like the story of what's going on. At least like what I kind of like got the sense of. And then they just kind of jump out to announcing that like everybody in like I think they started announcing they wanted to go announce like who's gonna be like the next king, and then they end up announcing Prince Daida as the new king, and they're like they don't even let Boji know or anything. So like Doji's like what the fuck, and he's like all heartbroken about it. And apparently, like this was decided by Queen Hilling. I guess like she vetoed, and like you guys were saying, the other like retainers like got to like vote and like veto like this like the king's request.
Yeah, because like, what is he gonna do? He's dead. He's gonna stop him.
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of forget who voted for who. I think like Queen Hilling and like Domus and somebody else. I think it was like 5 people, right?
It was 5-2 in that vote.
Yeah, so I think it was a 5, and then
It was
like
the 2 sword masters, the queen. There was like 2 other people that knew Boji like really well.
yeah, I think it was like the spear of the king.
Apis. Opus.
Opus.
Apis.
I always called it like Apius, but I don't.
Apescape.
Apescape.
Super. Ikumboku.
And then I don't think I mentioned it, but I know Daida, like when he fought Boji and then Damas, I guess he was kind of feeling overconfident because he beat the captain of the guards. I think his name was Bebin. He was also captain of guards, but he's like some kind of like snake charmer as well. And I guess like throughout like the episode, you get to see like Kage giving like you see Bebin giving Kage like a hard time because like he kind of like at first thinks like since he's part of the assassin and Shadow Clan and all, he thinks like he's trying to kill Boji, and then like he kind of like locks him away, and then like tells like at this point Boji's like actually like attached himself a little bit to Kage, and then Bebin kind of notices this and kind of like is like, hey, yeah, Kage's gone. And then like of course Boji hearing this, he's like really sad about it, and he goes looking over, and then like I think he like sneaks into like some like random like hole in the ground, and like he finds like this big ass like 2-headed snake that looks like it had like 3 heads, but like one got cut off and it's like all like messed up, and he's like all like talking to him, but like I guess like he goes to him kind of like to kind of find out some like information like where he can find Kage, but of course he can't really like help him out very well because since Bebin's kind of like a snake charmer, he's actually like I guess that's his like Bebin is his master, so he can't really do anything. But at the same time, he has like an attachment to Boji because I guess like that's a long time ago. I guess Boji saved his life, so he does have a debt to Boji, but at the same time, like it kind of conflicts with like being like loyal to Bebin. So it's just kind of like well, I'm not gonna do anything, but at the same time, like I do owe you a lot. And then you see later that Daida orders Bebin to kill the Apius, the spear of the king, but then like that ends up like going sideways for Bebin, and then Bebin ends up I guess being gravely injured, and then I don't know why. I've always found it weird, but like after like he's gravely injured, like you think he's like dying, he gets like sucked up by the ground, and then just like it just like cuts off from there.
Bro, I'm trying to get sucked up by the ground. Okay.
I actually just need hope.
I don't even know if we're talking about the same thing here.
I don't know. Anyways.
Moving on.
around this time, also everything happening, Boji like begs the queen to go on a journey because like pretty much is like, well, like I can't be a king, I guess, because you guys kind of decided that for me, and like I can't really do much, so like I kind of want to go on a journey. But the queen's like, no, you gotta like you can't go anywhere. You just gotta stay here.
Nah, bruh.
You never like make it on your own. And then like he ends up like running away, and like I think he tries, like he makes like a rope out of like using his bed sheets and whatnot, and just like tries climbing out the window. But like the queen tries to stop him, but he ends up like falling off the tower, and then like he somehow survives like from falling off the tower, and like this is like when you kind of find out Queen Hilling is actually like a, what would you call it, like a cleric, like a healer, I guess, because like you out of nowhere you kind of see her like Hulk out and like start like healing him, and then like it like you get to see like when he was like gravely injured from like Dida, like he was healed from his injuries like the next day. But you don't have to find out who, but you find out it was Queen Hilling that healed Boji. And like to me, around this point, you get to see kind of Hilling in a whole new picture because you guys put in the chat.
Just keep talking.
Oh my god! Oh my, what the fuck? And pretty much, you get to see kind of Queen Hilling in a new site, where, I guess, like at first, when she first married, like the king boss, he didn't have died. He didn't have doing in the chat.
Go on.
How do you expect me to go on? Oh, okay. Where was I? You pretty much see Hilling in a new different light.
Uh-huh.
That you get to see that she like at first, like when she gets married to King Boss, that she doesn't have a key, she doesn't have Dinah yet, so she actually like tries to kind of like replace, like she can't really replace like the old king in a sense, at least for Boji, because like he hasn't really like after the first, like his mom, his queen died, he never really got attached to anybody else. So Queen Hilling is like purposely trying to like get on his good side and like actually like get closer to him, and like actually genuinely like tries to like care for him and actually try to love him and everything.
Mm.
And like I guess at this like same moment you kind of I think it was like one of the moments where he kind of like opens up a little bit is when he heals like that one two-headed snake. You see like when he's all small and everything. She ends up healing the snake for him because like Boji kind of wanted him to like for the snake to be okay.
Yeah, she could heal my snake. I think the main conflict of issues between those two, between her and Boji, is that she wants to be a good stepmom, but they live in an era where there's no dryers for her to get stuck in.
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong? Your name is Fudanari. Don't even fucking come at me, bro.
Oh my god.
Fucking zoom in and hands on this shit. Futanari. Oh, it's not even. I'm not even showing it on the. I have it like cropped out. It's fucking. It's Futanari, like fucking Ari from League of Legends.
Oh no. I tried to be haha funny. Be
Oh.
funny.
I was being funny too.
I don't know. That was that was just out there. That one was out of pocket.
Anyways.
That was just stupid.
Go on.
So it's like you get to see kind of like the queen like in a different light, but then like when she gets pregnant with Daida, everything kind of shifts. I guess all her love and attention goes to Daida, and she ends up being kind of like those like typical mean stepmothers to him, kind of like always scolding him and everything. But like it's kind of like I guess like contradicting a little bit, where it's just like, well, she's always mean, but it's actually like she actually like means well. Like she actually like genuinely like actually like, cares for him a lot.
Yeah, she's overbearing basically.
Yes. Like she still like wants like what's best for him. But I guess like somewhere along the way, like she got a little lost. Like she never really like she kind of stopped considering like how he feels. And then she kind of like after that whole exchange, she ends up like having a change of heart and decides that Boji can go on a journey, even though it's just like to like where her parents live. And but she has the sword master and some was it like an assistant they assign? I think it was Hokuro. Don't know if I have a picture. Well, I have a picture of all three of them actually. Okuro, Damas, and Boji.
Yeah.
And pretty much like the assistant is to kind of like help Boji, kind of like it's just kind of like another translator, just kind of help him out. And then Damas is just more like the
Muscle.
The muscle, yeah.
Yeah.
And then pretty much like this kind of like change of heart kind of like towards Boji kind of realizes that, and then like ends up kissing her on the cheek, and then she ends up being like, I don't know, a little like tsundere kind of thing, where she's like, it's like okay, that's enough. Which I kind of found cute.
Get in the dryer.
Oh my god.
There's a few in dryers.
Go on.
I go on, and then you bring it back to dryers. Okay. Anyways. Well.
Use your big boy words.
Well, around the same time, you also learn that Daida has like this weird, like ominous, like magic mirror that he's always talking to. And I guess like they lightly brush upon like what the ranking of kings is. Like it actually like I got like they didn't really like talk about it, at least in the first 5 episodes, but from what I understood, it's like pretty much every king has a rank, and the number 1 king gets like this super powerful like godly item, and like every person that's gotten that item has like died to it, because it's just like it's like an unbelievably like godly item. So like every king wants to like try to get it so that they can kind of like that one up, I guess, so that they continue being like number 1, I guess. At least that's from what I understood. I don't know if that's what you guys also got from that. And then like at least for me, I was just kind of like, well, what kind of gift like Boji would get like if he was like somehow became like the strongest king. At least for me, I'd like to think he was like somehow is like able to get to like hear or speak, or maybe at least get stronger. But like I really don't know. And then it gets like you get to see like Boji, Damas, and Hokuro like in town, like stopping to get supplies. Um, and then just like when he was kind of sparing with Daida, like ducking everything, you just see him like running and ducking, like weaving through the crowds, like he's at like at a convention or expo, and just like going through it, just trying to get all through those like cool looking booths, and then like uh, practically being like a leaf in the wind in a sense. Um, and like he does it all that he's all ducking and weaving just to see like some kind of puppet show, I guess, that was just like going on, that was happening in that little town where they stopped by.
Mm.
And then like he tips kind of like this like gold coin that he has like a bunch of, and then he like decides to like take a nap in the middle of town, and then it gets robbed.
Nice.
Like, so I'm like, my god, it's like poor Boji, it's like nothing's like ever going right with him. And then like when they were living in town, like for some like odd reason, his bag is like right there with his money. Like you thought it was stolen, but it's like no, it's just like coincidentally, it's just like right here in the middle of the road. So I'm like, oh, okay, little weird, but okay. And then like I guess when they're like sleeping in the night, like Boji like runs off, and then he sees like this. He meets like this weird. I don't even know how to describe it. He looked like some weird bird-looking dude. I don't even know his name, to be honest. It was just kind of like this weird. Like it looks like he was like a king because he had a crown, but he, I don't know. He was just a little crazy, out of sorts kind of character.
Mhm.
It was just kind of like explaining to Boji kind of like how the world works, at least like to how he thinks it, about like how kind of like the world revolves around like sacrifices, and those sacrifices like come back and bring more life, I guess. And there's kind of like some weird like shadow thing in the air. So like I think he ends up killing a boar, and that boar like goes to the sky for some reason. And like I don't know, it's kind of like, how would you best describe that? I I because I don't really know how to like best describe
It ascended.
I don't-
that.
Yeah, that's all I can really give. Like at least the spiritual side of things, all things return to what they were,
Yeah.
and it's just a complete cycle. And at least that's what I got from like that weird guy. Because when he got introduced, I was just lost at that point. I was just like, what is this weird detour?
Yeah, I think Jay definitely. I think that best describes it. Like kind of like it's kind of like everything. It's kind of like a circle kind of thing. Um, and then like even after that interaction, like when he's like telling Boji about this, he ends up like kind of turning to Boji and was like, "Well, should I sacrifice you too?" And Boji's like, "Oh no, this guy's fucking crazy," and he just dips.
Time to go. Uh-huh.
It's time to go.
He's like, "Time to go."
He's like, "Thanks for the food, but I'm out." You crazy.
Me at every party I go to. Thanks for the food, but I'm out. Oh, y'all grinding on each other? Nah, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm a dip. and, and then around this like same time, I guess Boji gets targeted, I guess, because like it looks like somebody like tries to like kill him because he like some daggers get thrown on his food, and then you realize the food was also poisoned. So it's just like it gets pretty crazy after that point. And then I guess they have to go, I guess, to get to where they have to go, they have to go through like this underworld city. And then like I think at the last place they were at, Damas got all the like the supplies, so this time it was like Hokuro. And then Damas like showed Boji some kind of like I think they call it like the gates of hell, which is like I guess like the entryway to like to the underworld. and like flames erupt from it and everything, and you can't like see the bottom. And then like you see Damas like showing Boji up close, like what these gates look like and everything, and then out of nowhere, like he pushes Boji into like this bottomless pit. And at this point, I'm like, what the fuck? Because like you see, like you think like Damas is like trying to like you always think like he actually like learned Sang language and actually like cares for Boji, and then like he ends up like trying to kill him. So I'm like what the fuck is happening?
Why?
Like why? um, but so like he thinks he's dead and all, and then like everybody thinks he's dead, but like I guess like he ends up like surviving, and that's because like Kage was there, like in his bag, like helping him the entire time. So like whenever he fell off the tower, Kage kind of softened the landing so that like he would be okay. Or like when I think the thief stole like his bag with his money and everything, Kage like got that bag back to him. And I think like he even prevented Poji from eating like poison food, which I think it was Domus, now that I think about it, who tried to poison him, which kind of resorted to him having to push him into the gates of hell.
It really be your own.
But like at the same time, like you find out like Damas is actually like doing this because Daida told him to, and it was kind of like almost, I wouldn't say blackmail, but it's just more like kind of testing his loyalty. Because I guess during the veto, when like they made veto to make Daida to make become king, he voted Daida to become king, and then Daida didn't like that because he's pretty much he gave up his loyalty to Boji like so quickly. So it was just more like well, like you really switched loyalties there like really quickly, and like I don't think you're really a trustworthy guy anymore, really, because like it's like, yeah, you voted for me, but like you voted for me because like I was just the better guy. So,
Once a traitor, always a traitor.
Yeah. So like pretty much it's just like to test his loyalty, he had to kill Boji because it's like apparently like only a task that somebody trustworthy to do. So that's why he did it.
Like Itachi.
I don't know what that is.
Fucking shit, James. You don't know what Ultra Instinct is. You don't know who Itachi is.
No.
Oh.
Is that food?
Yikes.
Are we done yet? Are we done yet? Is this episode almost done? I'm in physical pain.
And we're almost there. We're halfway there. And I guess you kind of find out that the magic mirror is kind of like persuading Daida to do all these things. And then you see like Daida, like I guess like magic mirror tells him to like kind of go to kind of like this weird underground room full of like frozen monsters. And there's even
the energy drink.
Dad, I think it was an energy drink. It was kind of like weird. It was the energy drink made from his dead dad when he got shoved down a meat shredder.
This got really weird really quickly.
And then they used that energy drink to make a monster in which they killed and used that blood to make like a sussy elixir.
Oh, get me out. Get me out now.
And they say that this like sussy elixir like will make you like the #1 king. And then despite like everything that like that's what Daida wants, that he's like, no, it's a little like this.
It's a little too sussy.
Yeah, this magic mirror is a little being a sussy baka kind of thing.
What the? Okay. All right.
Are you done? Are you done?
Like I'm actually like in pain, like emotionally and physically.
Can you wrap it up, please? Can you?
Yeah. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. My cat is on top of my. Oh, can you? Okay. And this is me wrapping it up. And around this time, at the same time, you see Hokuro finding out that Damas like supposedly killed Boji, and like he ends up like pretty much cutting off, or like I guess like mostly cutting off his arm,
Mm.
not his arm, Damas's like hand. Um, only, and then Damas kind of lets him because he kind of like regrets that he did that to Boji, because like he was always loyal to Boji, but like he had to do that. So like he kind of gave up his right hand to do that. And then at the same time, like when Boji and Kage are like in the gates of hell, I guess Bebin told like Kage and then gave him a letter that there's like somebody in the underworld to kind of help Boji get stronger. And then that's pretty much where the story leaves off in the, at least for the 5th episode.
That felt like so much more than 5 episodes. Like
I
hearing it like
know.
that.
It's crazy because like it's because that's pretty much like how it sums up, like in the 5 episodes, like all of this is happening like all at once. And like even like in 5 episodes, like there's a lot going on in those 5 episodes.
Mhm.
And like it's kind of like you get thrown into like this big roller coaster, and like there's a lot that doesn't get explained, and like it makes you like curious on like how like everything is and how everything's connected. It, and since it's like I think it's still an ongoing. I think currently at like 13 episodes at the moment.
Mhm.
But at least to me, like I found it very very entertaining. Just like with every little thing that like popped up. But yeah, I mean,
Okay, so
at least for rating wise,
yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
yes, at least for me, I give it a 9. I I really enjoyed the animation, like everything, and from what I hear, I guess like it's been out for a while. At least like I think it has like 11 volumes, but like it never really got like really popular until like the show came out. The show, like the animated show came out, and then it just like became more and more popular. Um, but I don't know, like I at least I don't know about you guys, but I kept on watching, and it does like you get to find out a little bit more
Mhm.
about like how everything connects, and it gets pretty insane.
All right.
What
So I guess
about
that also answers the question on if you would keep watching.
yes. Well, what about you, Lizer? What would you rate it?
Oh, little old me, you want to know what I think? Oh, thanks. You make me feel so special. So like I said, like hearing it all back, it sounds like so much more than 5 episodes. And I think the main reason for that is because I found it very boring. And all the episodes dragged for me. I'm going to be honest with you, James. I watched 2 episodes.
Oh no, it's fine.
I did not finish this. I was like, nah, I'm out. And I had the intention of watching more like today before we started. And I was just, I looked at it and I was like, I don't want to. It's like, I'm being completely honest. Kage's backstory, I was like, okay, that's tragic backstory, trademark. Haha,
Yeah.
I get that. Cool. I would like to know more about that. And then it just kept on with the I was like, stop, please, stop.
It does. It does that. I want to say kind of like doesn't like it has like your typical kind of like traits that does like kind of like happen.
Yeah.
Like that. And I also did find it like a little weird, like that, like when you would want like when they would like kind of like bring up something that you would think that they give answers to, they just kind of like ignored it.
Yeah.
So I did like, that's why I didn't really give it like a 10 out of 10, but it just made me like even more curious, at least for me. Like I always like, I never really minded that kind of thing. As long as I find out like eventually,
Yeah.
as long as it
So I had the thing where I was like, okay, it's kind of boring. I'm not really getting interested into any of the like main characters. And then a lot of the reviews were saying like the animation is so good. You know, I love this style of animation. I don't like the animation. Like it's a very nice style, but like for me to sit down and watch a series, I don't want to watch that.
Oh yeah, I think they just picked it because like the like if you looked at the manga is kind of like similar to like the animation.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think they try to keep it as close as possible, just to kind of like I don't know why, but you know, like how sometimes they do that for like shows where they kind of make it so that it resembles like so the characters look like they do in the manga.
Yeah.
But I mean, I too also like found the for me it was just more like what's going on and the plot more than like the actual animation for me.
Yeah.
And like it did pick up like during the fight scenes. Like I thought it was like it did like kick it up a notch. Like when he was like when he first fought Daida for the first time, or when like the spear like the king of the spear was fighting Bebin, and you
Mhm.
see him like use like that once. Actually, I don't even know if that was on episode 2 or
Nope.
that might have been so yeah, you might not know what I'm talking about. But like there is a point in that animation where like it kind of picks up a little bit.
That
But
happened in episode 3.
okay.
Yeah, so I think me personally I'd give it a 3 out of 10, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't like I was hoping you guys would like say something that would be like, oh, I want to see that animated, but everything you said I was like, oh man, this is boring. I was just like, I was not interested this whole stream. I was checked out.
And how about you, Jay? What would you rate it? What'd you think of it?
So, as far as it goes, and honestly, I did watch the 5, and again, nothing really appealing, though I do like the way the story's being told, but just I'd rather read it, like if it was just a text, like a wall of text, rather than watch it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So for me, I give it a 5. Could have been better,
Yeah.
but it feels kind of bland. Or it just like the storytelling is fine.
Yeah.
I think it tells a wonderful story, but it just felt bland watching
Yeah.
it.
I think like a lot of it is just like I feel like, at least for me, I feel like the story, like on how like they tell the story, is like what for me brings up like why I would rate it so high. Like to me, like everything else that kind of really doesn't like really matter. Like it is like I do like it when there's like eye candy kind of like animation, kind of like when it's just like visually like amazing. Like I do love that. But like when the plot is like good, like to me that like if it at least has that, like I'm good. Like I can sit and like watch whatever it is and just like I can be entertained by that.
Yeah.
So
but I'm personally very picky.
yeah.
Well, I mean, since it is an animation evaluation podcast, I would say that would be an appropriate.
So like on average between the three of us, it'll get like a 5.3 out of 10. Like averaged out scores.
That's not necessarily terrible, but
It's not bombing.
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't like
It's a
kick
flip of a
in
coin, you know. You might like
Yeah,
it, you might hate it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Pretty much.
but I'm seeing a lot of great reviews for it, and I'm looking at these reviews and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Everyone, as a friend once told me, everyone's entitled to their wrong opinions.
Words never sounded so true.
No, but I can get why people would like it. Like, there was definitely times that I was like, okay, that was kind of cool. Like, especially like the fight scene and, like I said, Kage's backstory.
Yeah.
Like that, those were interesting. But as a whole, I was just like, it's not for me.
What was your favorite part, Jay? At least like.
Yeah,
even after-
I enjoyed the fight scene between Boji and Daida.
Just as it's a good anime.
She flipped that coin pretty well. I'm not gonna. I don't know.
All right, Jess, if you say so. It's alright to be wrong.
Flipped it at
I was like, flip that coin again.
It's a
Yeah,
double-headed
yeah.
coin.
Boji and Daida, definitely. You know, with the amount of attention that it got from like just the guards, you know, the retainers, even the queen, got a lot of people's attention, and it definitely did deliver.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I think that's my favorite part in the 5 episodes.
Okay. Anything else anybody want to say about it before I introduce what we'll be watching for next week?
No, you can go on it. I think.
Go ahead, Chief.
All right. So I wanted to give some service to something that I thought was something that was really well animated, a great story, a lot of passion went into this, and it did not get the recognition it deserved upon premiere. All these years later, people realized that, and it has like a cult thing. But when it came out, it was kind of considered a flop, you know. So I would like to, for next week, have us watch the Atlantis: The Lost Empire from Disney.
That
I
shit
love
was-
this movie.
This shit's my jam.
all right. Looks like we have some happy people here.
Let's go.
James comes in next week. He's like, I hated it. It's the worst.
Tool for flinching.
But between Atlantis and like Treasure Planet, and I feel like a couple other ones, really great movies, great animation, great story, like the voice acting's amazing. You would think that everyone would love these things, and they were just like dropped and forgotten.
So sad.
So I have a couple that I want to do. Not all Disney, but it might not even all be like sequential in the order that I do it. Like my next time, it could be fucking Dragon Ball. Who knows? But I definitely want to get through a couple of them that I think deserve more recognition and respect.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
I never really paid attention to like flops. At least like when I was young, like I never really like knew what was like
I didn't know
like
what
what
a
flop or
was.
flop was or anything.
Yeah.
Like to me, like back in the day, like I had like I think like this was like one of like the first movies I got like on DVD, and it was just like in this like catalog.
Mm-hmm.
And like my dad like for some like random reason he was like, oh, like if you want to order some movies or something, you can go ahead, they're like pretty cheap. And I'm like, sure, why not? And then like I remember getting like all my Disney movies on there, and like I remember seeing this movie, and like you know, like back then, like I don't like they it was kind of harder to tell like what was popular and what was not. But I was like, oh, this is a Disney's pretty popular, so I'm like, I'm just gonna watch this, and like I ended up loving like this movie.
Yeah, I remember really liking it. I haven't seen it in years.
I remember just like recently, a couple years ago, I was able to like take a picture like in Disneyland with them. I think I went to like this special Like, it has this special night where like they don't, you get to see characters you don't really see like daily, like on the like in the park.
Uh huh.
And it was really nice like seeing them because like holy shit, like you guys like are actual like characters here, like I never like expected you to be like be
You
here.
exist.
You
You're
exist.
acknowledged.
You're acknowledged because like they because at Disneyland they always just acknowledge like your classic characters,
Yeah.
like you on like random like weird events. Um,
Disney, when are
they
you putting Sora?
The day I see Sora at Disneyland, I'm a flip. I'm like, really?
It was called Sweetheart Nights.
Yes.
All right. So tune in next week for Atlantis: The Lost Empire,
Yeah.
and be ready because I'm gonna talk about like why this flopped and what came about from the flop, and I might introduce you guys to some things you don't actually know. We'll see.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Alright.
Indeed.
All right. So yeah, see you next time, guys. Have a good one.
Bye bye.
Bye. Peace.